All right, let's get back with it, man. Larry E.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyhow, yeah, I don't know what that was all about. We decided to get Facebook frozen, but we're back in business now. Anyhow, hey, let's see what we're gonna be talking about tonight. Oh man, we talked a little bit. Anyhow, first off,
Hey Tim, I can't see you. I just see the face thing.
oh here, let me get you hooked up. Hang on. I'll get you. I know what you need to see. You want to see us and stuff.
Yeah, all right.
How's that better?
Turn my light on too. My light wasn't on. Had to get my background
Now can
light.
you see our smiling faces?
Boy, it's a hell of a. If I ain't late or MIA, something's going on. Audio
Yeah.
ain't working. Let's get to it, Tim.
But anyhow, yeah, let's get to it. Anyhow, Mark Gaetz, he's one of those in that Freedom Caucus, that held it up for McCarthy to get to be a Speaker of the House. We talked about this some months ago. That's the way they had to do what? How many different rounds of votes and what that take 2 or 3 days or more to get him voted into office. But in any event, with the debt ceiling thing, he's sitting there trying to negotiate that with the president, Biden. And that guy out of the Freedom Caucus laid down an ultimatum for him. And we knew this was coming.
What will the Freedom Caucus do if the people who are objecting to this bill get overridden? If the Republicans get overridden by a Republican speaker teaming up with Democrats to pass this bill?
Again, I think the operative question there is whether or not the speaker can get to a majority of the majority. If a majority of Republicans are against a piece of legislation and you use Democrats to pass it, that would immediately be a black letter violation of the deal we had with McCarthy to allow his ascent to the speakership, and it would likely trigger an immediate motion to vacate. I think Speaker McCarthy knows that. That's why he's working hard to make sure that he gets, 120, 150, 160 votes, and that's why those of us who are not supportive of the bill are trying to point out that many of the changes are cosmetic in nature, and Joe Biden's administration is going to be able to waive certain requirements and certain conditions that sound like great talking points, but that don't save the country from the ruin that the Biden administration is bringing us to.
Now, there's a direct threat, if I've ever heard
Okay,
one.
but he said a lot of words, but a lot of big words to confuse people.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he said the Republicans don't want the legislation to go through.
Basically, in a nutshell, that's what it sounds like to me also, that they still want all these different cuts, don't be taxing the millionaires, right? Don't forgive the loan forgiveness for the students. There's some other things in that legislation that, they're saying, no, you got to cut some of this out. And apparently, there's a few people in apparently the Republican caucus there that can tell the speaker what to do and how to do it. And we knew that was coming.
Which is crazy, though, because I feel like they give us the degrees just to be in debt. So it's like what you going to college for, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to college to be in debt for the rest of your life. So I feel like, they need to have more leniency on kids who trying to do right. You know what I'm saying? It's always a punishment for doing right and wrong.
Yeah, it's like the rich is steady trying to hold down those people that are trying to move forward, which are the younger generation, which is going to lead our newer generation. But they're steady trying to hold on to the rich people stuff instead of trying to keep people poor. That's what I see.
There's an interesting argument when they bring up the fact that, I had to pay my student loan debt, and you hear some of these people, yeah, but when you went through college, it may have cost you XYZ $100,000. Now, with the elevation in tuition costs, now it's costing these people $300,000-400,000, right? I mean, it's astronomically stupid what it can cost you for a degree anymore. So, how long does it take to pay something like that off? I mean, that's like a 25, 30-year, home loan trying to pay off. That's a lot of money, man. and then you still want to have them be a contributor to society when they're bogged down by debt.
Yep, from day one.
Yeah. I'm like, it's like a double-edged sword. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't go to college and get educated, you won't get a better job. And if you do go and you need to pay for your college yourself, then you're going to get held down with debt. So maybe everybody should just go to trade school. Trade school is cheaper.
Well, your wife just got going through nursing school, right? And
nursing school, nice. That's expensive.
That was
too,
expensive, yes.
Yeah, nursing school. I'm like, being a welder, plumbing. I'm like, ain't that expensive, but you can make some instant money. But everybody don't want to be no welder and plumber, so they got to just cut some slack towards people that's trying to be a little more educated and step their level up. Man, come on.
What I don't understand is, if I'm not wrong, you have some countries, and we won't say like the word China and that they they promote that through. If you have a scholastically achieving individual, you're not going to just let every Tom, Dick, and Harry come in, right? And just mooch off the system, and I'm going to waste 4 years of my life here in college. But if they are actually trying to maintain a decent GPA, what's the harm? You're only going to be able to increase the workforce abilities, productivity, and who knows what ideals this person may bring in to modernize something that we're doing now.
Right.
Yeah, and like the thing about it, everyone's involved. It's not a black thing or a white thing or a Hispanic thing. It's people that want to get educated and do better for themselves and their families. They're all races involved, and they're not even putting that into consideration. They trying to hold everybody back on this one, man.
We'll see what they do. It'll be interesting because I'm sure it'll go through the House and then the Senate will have to do their thing.
You think it's gonna pass? What you think? I think they're gonna screw us because I owe about $8,000. I'm trying to get that paid off.
I would.
They like for us to have a recession though.
That
you
may
think
be true
y'all
too.
think it's gonna go through?
They make more money if we have a recession.
If it goes through, you think?
No, if it doesn't go through and we actually default on our loans,
the whole government, all the people that got
I think it would have such a dramatic effect because now you're talking about the credibility of the United States with other countries. And I want to buy this particular product from you, and we don't make all our resources. I mean, we import, export. That's part of how we make our money, yes? Mm-hmm. So, come on, guys. you don't want to screw that up, and all of a sudden, somebody says, no, I'm not going to, take any bad checks from you. Your credit is absolutely Zippo, so forget about this deal. So, no, I mean, and besides, then you're going to see Wall Street taking a hit. You're going to see interest rates for, borrowers. It's already crazy. So what the hell you think's going to happen?
Another recession. Yeah, like the homie said, another recession.
So, yeah, that would be stupid. But then again,
then
that's America. Then again, that's America.
Then you got all the countries overseas teaming up to start their own currency, a world currency. So that's gonna leave America out of it anyway if they don't, follow suit.
The euro. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I've never followed how that really works or what the actual value of the euro and how that is applicable into what countries use it.
It's coming.
Could be. Anyhow, hey, let's move on. And the next topic we were actually going to talk about is down in Mississippi. Apparently, there was a domestic violence call. During this, and a mother asked her 11-year-old to place the 911 call to get the PD involved. And when the PD showed up, they ended up shooting the 11-year-old that made the 911 call.
Did you think you were dying at the time?
I actually thought I was about to lose my life.
This morning, 11-year-old Adarian Murray speaking exclusively to ABC News for the first time since being shot in the chest by a Mississippi police officer.
I never thought anything like this would happen. It's scary. It's emotional to even think about how I could have lost my son because I was trying to get help. I just want to help.
Adarian says an argument between Nikayla and her ex-boyfriend woke him, and he called 911 after his mom instructed him to. Here's what he says happened when police arrived.
I came out doing this. When Greg shot me, I did this to my chest. It feel like a taser, like a big punch to the chest. That's what it feel like getting shot.
You're like, what? How does that happen? How does an 11-year-old come out with their hands up?
Damn, Tim.
And the cop, pop. First off, he wasn't a threat, right?
For one thing, they're in Mississippi, so
Yeah.
that's the first problem. That's the first problem.
Light-skinned, but he's still black.
Mississippi is deeper in that KKK and racism than Kentucky and Texas. It's just originated the South. That's the problem there. Y'all go ahead and talk on it, man, because, man,
Yeah, that one upset me. I'm like, I don't see how you could even sit there and say I made a mistake, unless what? I thought he was a midget. That's who I thought we were going. I mean, Tim,
I was going to say that. How you going to
hot in his hand or something?
Yeah. How you shoot a midget?
I mean,
if it ain't a midget, how many times you see midgets get into domestic violence issues other than Friday?
Yeah, right.
Man.
So that's just bad policing. And I always say this. There's some good police out there. I've seen some good white police officers. I've seen some Hispanic ones. Some of them are my friends. I got a couple of friends, females, males. So I ain't gonna sit here and just dog the police officers, because even I got some of my family. My daughter wants to be a police officer.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the profession. It's just, you're right. There's some bad apples everywhere.
And I want to shout when you said Mississippi. If you'd have said Texas, Mississippi, Virginia, West Virginia, I'd be like, okay, it's typical. Georgia, all those southern states and all those states identify with southern states with the racism. But that's how it is, man. They blasting kids, and it's ridiculous because they're not trained and they're afraid. That's why I would say you need to send police officers that are of Caucasian to Caucasian areas, black police officers to African American areas, and Hispanic police officers areas where they can better understand the people they're dealing with. Because you rarely see something like that. Ain't no black officer gonna shoot no damn kid or a midget.
That was a white kid. Shit, that motherfucker be.
I know he's on administrative leave, pending an investigation, whatever that's supposed to mean. But you have an interesting point, because you sit there and say, if you would send a culturally sensitive individual who could go into a neighborhood like that, and isn't that the same thing as what they try to say they want to do to de-escalate the situations? Send somebody in there that can actually negotiate a suicide person or a whatever type of crisis may be taking on at this particular point. I would have to agree that, it may sound racist what we're suggesting, but it's more relatable for me to go into a white community and LaRon to go into a black community and be able to interrelate with these individuals than vice versa.
Okay, a cop is a cop. Understand that cops have an oath. A lot of regular people don't live by the same oath as a cop. I was in the Army. I have an oath. I'm not a soldier. I'm not a full-time soldier, but I'm still a soldier. I still go by the oath I abide by in the military. So if I have to fight for my country because my ancestors did, my forefathers, which are the no disrespect you, Tim, but the black guys I know when they fought for the country, I'm just saying. So I go by that oath because I know what they stood for, and what I stand for as a black man for our country. The officers have to go by an oath to protect and serve. All right, the people don't know that. So you need to send officers that understand the people they are serving to give better customer service, because we pay them, that's customer service, we pay them tax dollars. We pay them to protect and serve us. And it just makes sense. And they use racism on everything else. Why not use it when you're going to make a call? Okay, it's a domestic violence. What's the nationality? African American. Send LaRon over there. Don't send Casey. Send LaRon.
Do you agree with that philosophy?
Well, not really. I mean, because coming from a human being type of way of thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't matter. Like, common sense is common sense. If you see the little boy coming out with his hands up, you should not think that just because you own a domestic call or a violence type of call, not to you already got that in the back of your mind, like I'm ready to shoot some because it's violence in here. But you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the same type of calculations in their head. So when they see somebody come around the corner that they don't know, even as a little kid, that they know that to sit here and process the information before they pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like if they process the information that's coming from the just in a couple seconds, they could realize, oh, it's a little kid. Come here, you little boy. They should know that a little boy called anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, well, I don't know what the little boy called, but they should know that a little boy is involved. You know what I mean? But you know, I mean, I just feel like just everybody should, you know, they should just get more training as far as police to be able to handle certain situations, no matter what type of race that you are. I just feel like they just need more training, man, and more training in that type of situation with blanks or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Have
you
some
know,
niggas come
I
from the
agree.
hood come over to the training spot, nigga. If you want to get out of jail, all right, look, you gonna do these training shit. You know what I'm saying? You might get shot with a couple rubber bullets, but might help them out. A
No,
little bit, you
I
know
agree
what
with you, but fear always trumps the human factor of me getting shot compared to me shooting them.
Right.
But don't you
That's
wonder?
the problem.
I guess the thing that I
agree.
wonder,
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
and the thing
But-
I wonder in all these situations were like is, why was the officer's weapon drawn to begin with? What was the immediate?
Domestic
What was
violence,
the?
but-
Yeah, but was there a weapon spec in the call? I mean, we don't know this.
Yeah.
There may
But
have
Tim,
been a
I
weapon
noticed-
spec in the calls, but
From-
still, you know, that's just the same overreaction that other woman had. Remember, she thought she was tasing the dude, and she actually pulled out her service revolver.
Oh,
Pop,
yeah,
pop,
yeah.
pop.
Yeah. What's her
Well,
name?
Tim, you know,
I
domestic
park like
violence-
her all the time.
Yeah.
I call
Domestic violence cases are more dangerous than any other case you have out there.
Oh,
Domestic violence cases are emotionally motivated, and you have more cases of those than any other case if you do the numbers.
But you know,
Domestic violence is bad.
yeah,
Oh hell yeah.
It's bad. I'm like, it's way more domestic violence cases than all these random serial killers. Domestic violence is constantly, daily.
Even
It's
verbal
crazy.
domestic violence. I never knew you can catch that till I caught one. I was like, what?
I know domestic
Verbal
violence, man. It's
domestic
like
violence?
people just don't get along, bro.
yeah. All you have to do is put a person in fear of physical bodily harm. Is the term.
And a lot of people,
you know, if
either
an
get
all you'd
killed-
have to say is, I ought to beat your ass, bitch.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, hey, and the majority of the people that are in a murder know each other. A lot of murders. I don't know the numbers exactly, but a lot of people that get killed know each other.
Oh,
or
right.
connect with each other somehow.
That the victim has a relationship of some type or the other
Yeah.
with the perpetrator.
Yeah, and I'm like,
That's
so
100% true.
officers, I'm pretty sure they know domestic violence. They already know. It could be a neighbor.
It
or
can
some
go
shit.
south
They
real
are-
quick. Speaking of going south real quick, I wanted to share this one with you because it's nice to know that racism is alive and well in America. Since you said
Oh,
something,
shit.
you know, oh yeah.
I was really, really upset and sad.
April Jackson is appalled, to say the least, because of this. Instead of her daughter's name on her Chick-fil-A receipt, a word similar to a racial slur was printed out.
She told him her name was Naija, and she put on her ticket.
Asia Jackson says last Monday she pulled through the drive-thru to get her food at the Chick-fil-A off Mount Holly Huntersville Road and the Brookshire when the person who handed it to her warned her.
He was like, you might want to look what they put your name as. I was just in shock. I literally parked right there. I couldn't eat the food. I was just in shock.
We asked Chick-fil-A about it, and they sent us this statement, saying in part that the restaurant has investigated and that, quote, the operator has started additional training at his restaurant to ensure this doesn't happen again. We sincerely apologize for the harm caused by this incident. But for this family, that training isn't enough.
You shouldn't have to be trained not to call someone a. I'm just being as honest as I can be. I want the employee to be fired.
In Mountain Island, Hunter Signs, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
What they call her a bitch?
No, nigger.
Ah, my.
Yeah, man.
They
She
could
ain't
put-
even
they
I'm
could put
black.
sign
Drop the
love is
N-bomb
kind,
on her.
love is
Drop
something.
the N-bomb on her.
I wouldn't want to eat it either. If you gonna put nigger on my damn food and put you spit in it,
I was
pretty
like,
sure you spit in it or put your penis or something in it or
Wait.
whatever you done did.
wait,
Right.
and Chick-fil-A,
God.
we're training the individual not to use that type of language.
And they training them.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Well, you know
Not
what?
to use the word on the job. That's
You know, they
Not forever, but on the
Christian-based,
job.
so they probably made him repent and go to church and
when they
Oh.
repent.
they
They
gave
did
him
him like they
another
did
chance.
Kyrie. They Kyrie him. You got
I-
to do
I couldn't-
12,000 things to still work here.
You gotta wonder what on earth are you thinking? As an employee, you've managed people in that type of. What are you gonna say to this person?
Fired.
You're fired.
You know what?
Fired,
I'm
buddy,
gonna tell you.
That complaint coming
LaRon,
on
are you
me.
LaRon,
Shit,
are you a
my boss
manager?
gonna be on my ass. Yeah,
LaRon,
I'm a GM for Burger King in Burleson, Texas.
Right. Talk to us, baby.
Yeah, so
So-
that complaint gonna come down to my boss, and he gonna send it to me from the corporate. If it goes to the corporate office, it's a code. We call it a code 3, and then it gets sent to my boss, and it gets sent to everybody at the same time, and I can see it. I can see the code 3, and then they gonna call me and question me about it, and it could be my job. It can cost me my job if it's bad enough. You're not managing this restaurant properly. You're not training your employees properly. So it's like
You should have trained your employee not to drop the N-bomb on
yeah,
your customers.
Yeah, and that's a bad thing, man. That's bad.
But you know what? Where was that at? Is that the culture? Is there like maybe a lot of Caucasian people working at restaurant? Maybe they got that same
and not that makes it right or wrong.
But she don't even look.
But I would have to
doesn't.
sit there and speculatory saying that you're probably right. It was probably in some upscale white community.
She could have been like talking shit about her food. Make sure you get my fries right. Make sure you put salt on it right. Make sure you get my stuff right. But
now,
still,
I can see if that was McDonald's, but Chick-fil-A, they usually do a pretty good job.
I mean, yeah, Chick-fil-A is usually not like that. I mean,
they supposed to be the higher standard. They messy. They put the sign up front.
Right.
Love is kind or something. Whatever they put up there, just
one big
spread the
lie.
love.
Is that what you're saying?
She looked like she was mixed, so they must not used to seeing mixed people. So just imagine if you was as black as me or my uncle.
Hey,
Uncle
they'd have
Wade
called
or
you like
something.
they'd have called you a black nigga.
Oh God.
You black? How you gonna be black and be a nigga at the same time?
I don't know, man. That's a double thing, isn't it? What you gonna do? But anyhow, hey, moving on from people's stupidity, and let's get into some more stupidity. I mean, we had a 3-day weekend, right?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Well, it gave people all kinds of opportunity to screw up. Trust me.
And I asked my AI.
Tonight, gun violence and bloodshed, a stain on the unofficial start to summer. At least 16 people killed in shootings across the country this Memorial Day weekend, including 3 at a motorcycle rally in Red River, New Mexico. 5 others injured when police say the event turned into a shootout between rival biker gangs. In Massachusetts, chaos Sunday night. 2 shootings on Revere Beach just an hour apart. Boston police attributing the violence to 2 massive fights that escalated. Ohio and Wisconsin not spared by the violence. Columbus police say 7 were injured after a shooting during a party in the southeast area of the city. 3 killed and 9 injured in weekend shootings across Milwaukee, according to police. Mass shootings across the country, defined by the Gun Violence Archive as 4 or more people injured or killed, reaching 257 incidents so far, just 150 days into the year. But just 1 day later, Telemundo's Chicago cameras capturing shots fired between beachgoers at the city's North Avenue beach on opening day.
We looked up and we couldn't even grab all of our stuff before we went and hid behind the lifeguard stand. When it happened in the first minute, it was definitely just like adrenaline, like instinct run away, and it was scary.
North Avenue Beach is now closed. I need everybody to exit the sand and the water.
Yeah, give us time.
Well, around go.
Isn't that ridiculous? Hey,
Around
I'll
that,
pop
you
you
know,
back. I
screen.
got onto the wrong screen. There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, they just being assholes, man. They just being dicks. Luckily, it's no one of those school shootings, but they just been assholes. That's all it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I mean, you
man.
can't
It's
go
still
to
wrong.
you can't go to a parade. You can't go to the beach. You can't go
Those
to
biker
church.
guys. Those biker guys, I always do that.
Yeah, I mean the damn convenience store. Where can't you get shot?
Nobody don't fight no more, man.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's punks.
Pussies, punks, pussies.
Pussies. I can listen. I don't start fights. I can take it, but if I get into a fight, if I have to, I can take an ass whooping. I ain't gonna shoot the person that whoops me.
Right.
Now, if a gun is pulled, like I told my wife, I'm like, guns for two reasons: you show it or you blow it. If I pull a gun on somebody, that means that it's some real stuff happening. And if I pull a gun, I'm killing someone if I have to. But I'll fight anybody, win or lose. I just take my L and move on and shit. But you ain't got to shoot everybody. Motherfuckers, they pussies, man.
But what did they say? 257 so far this year.
Yeah, 257 incidents. But you know what though? I think it's because of these stupid gun laws, man. Like they keep making it legal to carry a gun without being licensed. And then you got all these kids. You know, these kids are young and dumb. So they out here doing dumb shit, young dumb shit. You know, putting their life on the line and shooting instead of fighting because they don't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Half of them ain't got no family to really encourage doing the right thing, though. You know what I'm saying? But like just with the accessibility of having all these guns on the street, and I can carry a gun. Well, I can carry a gun. I'm gonna carry that motherfucker. But like you said, I ain't gonna pull it out unless I'm gonna use that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So
purpose.
It's like some of these people is cowards. You know what I'm saying? Some people just can't take certain things, and then they go out here and and do stuff like this, and then they be looking stupid when they sitting in jail for the rest of their life.
Or it takes somebody's life. I was at a store. I work in the HVAC field right now, air conditioning stuff like that. And I saw a guy. I don't know if he had his own company. He walks out an HVAC truck with a gun fully holstered. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Shoot the AC unit if it's acting up? What do you need a gun for when you're working on the air conditioning unit?
Right.
I was like, come on, bro. But this is Texas. He had a full gun holster.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, come on, bro.
Right, the meth heads be coming for that copper. You know what I'm saying? You might want to shoot them for that copper or something.
I remember the first time I watched somebody doing that open carry stuff. You know, when we moved down to Texas, what about 10 years ago, more than that. But in any regards, I mean, it tripped me out. What did you think first time you seen somebody walk around with a gun in a holster and they're just like...
I was just like, that's some real cowboy shit I see in the movies, you know what I'm saying?
It's like,
wow. You know what, that scares me because I don't know what their intentions are. I'm not afraid of a man or a woman.
No.
But I'm afraid of a person
what
with
they're
a gun.
What they're going to do with that gun.
Right.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that. If I see a gun, somebody with a gun and not a cop, even with cops, I turn around and go the opposite way. I'm like, I don't know what they finna do. If I'm walking into a store and somebody walking in with a gun, I'm standing in my truck or walk out, wait till they leave. You don't know what the hell they gonna do with their gun.
And it could very well be that they like it because of the intimidation factor, and it makes them feel a certain way. So that's why they do it.
I've been in the hood.
It scares me.
And little niggas got their guns sitting right there in their little thing. But also, I seen a couple of videos of men going into the store thinking they cool with their guns, and somebody in the line just come and snatch it right out off of you and shit. You know
that scares me. And once somebody snatch your gun and then decide to start popping cap.
Yeah, that could go south quick. That's gonna go south quick. Unbelievable. Hey man, speaking of things going south quick, and we do talk about this, that every once in a while you come upon it. We're in Texas. Of course we're in Texas. Damn, every time there's something that does happen, especially when it comes to law enforcement, cops, Ted Cruz, all these type of people down there, you know, your governor.
I love Professor X. I call him Professor
Greg
X.
Abbott, you know, just, hey, Texas is a mess. And just to prove it, the cops are a mess too, so check this out.
Only on two, a Texas City police officer pulled from the streets and under investigation tonight amid growing controversy over how he handled a traffic stop.
The man who got pulled over spoke only to KPRC2's Bryce Newberry, who has the body camera footage that's raising major questions.
Hey man, you can't drive through the parking lot like that.
This 23-minute traffic stop at the Texas City Buc-ee's last month nearly landed Christopher Scholl in the slammer.
Everyone knows you cannot write tickets for traffic infractions on a private parking lot.
Under state law, he's right, but 4-year Texas City Police veteran officer Scott Harrell claimed Scholl was speeding and disregarding a traffic control device.
I'm not gonna write you tickets, but the only reason I'm not writing you tickets is because I'm out of tickets right now.
Video shows Scholl as compliant, but it escalated because Harrell said he didn't like Scholl's attitude.
You want to go to jail? You want to go to jail? You want to go to jail? You could go to jail for this.
3 minutes later.
What is the law designed to do, sir?
I know you want
designed
compliance.
to stop people
I know you want voluntary
supposed to be
compliance.
doing.
I know you want voluntary compliance.
Okay, go ahead and put your hands on your back.
Handcuffed because the officer said he was concerned Scholl would continue unsafe behavior.
Now we're playing Jean-Claude Van Damme future cop, and you need to stop me from something I may do in the future.
So he just keeps escalating it and trying to gain the authority to hammer me down.
Scholl asked him to cool off.
You have forced my hand at this point. Because if I don't go and see this through to its conclusion, I know you're going to go to the police department and file a complaint on me.
Another officer came to the scene, which is when they released Scholl.
So the other officer has a ticket book he's going to let me use. You're going to be receiving a citation, okay? And because I think going to jail is a bit excessive.
Scholl called the stop unjustified and a violation of his rights.
It wouldn't surprise me that he's been operating this way for a very long time.
Scholl, who says he's pro-police, wants something to be done so officers learn they can't treat people this way.
You hear all this defund the police and everything? Guys like him. This is why that happens right there.
The Texas City Police Chief says the department has strict policies that block officers from violating an individual's rights. So tonight, he has pulled Officer Scott Harrell from the streets and launched an internal affairs investigation, which he says could lead to possible criminal charges.
Yeah, you're right, straight. I mean, man, what a dickhead officer. He's going to write him a ticket for what? Man. You're speeding at Buc-ee's.
He wasn't even getting loud with him, though.
I think anybody that shop at Buc-ee's should get a ticket.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe
Buc-ee's screwed me over. Buc-ee's owed me some onions one time. They didn't give me my onions. And I said, okay, that's how we playing it. You can have this damn chopped beef sandwich. I want my damn onions.
You got your chopped beef sandwich and they didn't put the onions on it?
They're going to try to charge. The onions come on. I'm mad now. Let me get this out. The onions come on the chopped beef. I said, I want mine separate. Well, we got to charge you. How you going to charge me separate for some onions when they come on there originally? Well, we got to charge you because it's not on there. I said, take that shit back.
Oh, they changed their menu.
Crazy, though. That's
they tried to charge me for onions because I didn't want them on there. I had to get it separate. They tried to charge me for a separate container. I said, man,
that could be exactly what it's all about. Maybe that Texas City cop had a bad experience at Buc-ee's. That could very well be what it is.
I'm just glad nobody got shot.
And he just had it out for Bucky Beaver.
But I don't know. If it had been a brother, I don't know. It's Texas. I'm just glad that it wasn't a brother. I'm like, please don't let another one else get shot. Okay.
Yeah, well, they could get him for like illegal detention, unauthorized arrest. It's just a bunch of different things because he's right into the fact that you can't enforce traffic laws on private property.
And there's no probable cause.
I didn't even know that shit.
Yeah. They just do whatever. They just making up stuff. Cops got to stop doing it and abide by the rules. They know the rules and laws. This guy just wasn't complying with them. He said, okay, I'm a cop. I'm going to use my authority. Get the hell out of here, man. They always doing that.
That's exactly what it sounds
I'm a
like.
cop. I'm going to flex my muscles and you're going to do what I tell you to do.
We know you a cop. I'm like, chill out, bro. Let me get my gas and buy my chopped beef sandwich without my onions. I'm like, stop messing with me.
Go in there and tell that person, I want my onions.
I don't even go to Buc-ee's no more, but it was just wrong, and it was just a cop being a dick. And then, luckily that no one got shot because it was stupid.
Yeah,
cops got to just I don't know, man. That's a bad cop, bro.
Thank God for that. But you know what? It reminds me of, and actually it leads us right into you're sitting there bitching about your onions at Buc-ee's. That Buc-ee's screwed you on your onions, right? Well, guess what happened in Toledo, Ohio?
Uh-oh. Thank God Ohio was on the map.
Somebody forgot.
Lee, I spoke to people around the city of Toledo today, and they tell me it's never that serious. They say assaulting anyone is unacceptable, let alone over a slice of cheese.
Oh my gosh. What kind of cheese were you missing? They're never going to forget cheese again.
Yesterday afternoon, Toledo police responded to reports of a disturbance at the Wendy's on West Lasky Road. According to the police report, Jelena Stewart and Dominique Ezel came into the restaurant angry because Stewart didn't get the cheese on her crispy chicken sandwich that she asked for. Police say the two proceeded to throw Frosties at the employees, toss the cash register and cookie display off the counter, hitting a pregnant employee, and drag an employee to the ground by her hair, then taking her cell phone. All of this in front of a child. Both Stewart and Ezell have been charged with robbery. I spoke to people around the city about their thoughts on this incident.
Sounds a bit over the top. I think that she might have really been having a bad day, and she really got a little bit out of control, it sounds like.
This young lady says the employees already don't make a lot of money and deserve to be treated better.
I think she could have just asked them to put some cheese up there. I would quit. Go somewhere else.
Accidents do happen, and I do believe that I would have simply brought the sandwich up and brought it to their attention and asked if I could please have the cheese that I asked for on my sandwich.
See, that just
LeBron,
goes,
you're the expert.
hey,
Talk to us first. Let me hear your.
These are our people here in Toledo, man. Now you don't mess with our cheese.
They had to be a brother and sister.
Yeah,
don't mess with our cheese.
She had
man.
to smoke some good weed from Michigan and was really wanting that cheese.